Hi everyone, it is April 27th. I'm doing my May 2014 angel card reading a little early this month. I want to get it out with my newsletter, which I'm hoping to get out by the end of today or early tomorrow. So if you are interested in getting my newsletter, you can find that information at www.healingpossibilities.com. Just one other thing, I also have written an article. It's been published in the Guided Synergy magazine. And you can find that on their website at Guided, G-U-I-D-E-D, Synergy, all one word, S-Y-N-E-R-G-Y .ca. It's out of, you can find it out of Calgary. So lots of other great articles in that magazine as well. You can buy it online, or if you're in the Alberta and part of BC area, you can actually find hard copies of that at any of your metaphysical stores. So I hope everyone had a great April. I'm thinking our snow might finally be gone, although we had a bit of a blizzard again yesterday. Figuring the earth needs to take in the water at a slower pace than rain would allow, so it's snowing. I don't know what's going on, but it's nice and fresh out there with all the moisture coming down. So this month I'm using the Enchanted Map Cards. I've used them before. Call that Baron-Reid Reid's cards. They're beautiful. I just love them. And as usual, I energetically connect into the month of May to figure out what it is we need to know, what we need to work on. Oh, there's cards right there. They're all upside down, and there's 3 of them. So those will be our cards for this month. It's very interesting because there's no other cards in this deck that are in upside down. So when things like that happen, you just go with it if it feels right. So 3 cards for this month. The first one is number 23, Golden Palace. You see a sliver of the moon. You might want to connect into that moon, see if it's coming or going. It feels like it is headed towards the new moon, which actually is coming up here, I believe, tomorrow or Tuesday. Tuesday is the new moon. So this is a great time to decide what you want to do for the next 28 days or so. Make a commitment. And this is great because you can see the moon, a new moon, and then going in, and then there's a full moon here. So what's interesting to me is when you look at a portion of this card, this hill does not seem nearly as large as it should be to have a castle on it. Nothing seems to be in proportion in this card. Everything seems to be out of proportion in this card. So I would take a look at that this month. What seems like it's out of proportion in your life? For me, I've been doing a lot of work on keeping things balanced. Had the opportunity today to actually go out and spend some time just shopping with my husband. We went to the farmer's market, and then, we had to go to Lowe's and pick up a few things for the garden. And it's been a long time since we've had time to do things like that together because we lead such busy lives. So for me, I was feeling very blessed and grateful to have the opportunity to bring, hopefully, more of that into my life. And even as I was out, I was feeling a lot of gratitude around that situation so that I can expand more of that in my life. I did the same thing with having time to cook breakfasts and suppers for the family. I had lost that time between the kids' activities and with my activities and my husband's busy work schedule to actually all of us sit down and have meals together. So when I had the opportunity to do that and we all got to be together, I really felt grateful and blessed about that. So trying to bring some of the things that were out of proportion in our life back into balance in our lives. So you might want to take a look at that. It might be we talked a bit about this last month too. Maybe it's exercise, or maybe it's your creative flow. Maybe you do pottery or you do painting and you want to bring more. So make time to sit down and do that, and then have a lot of gratitude that you're being able to do this. So hopefully your world, your universe will open up more space for the things you love. And it's not all about just one item. For me, I love my work, but it was taking over too much of my time. And I'm trying to bring everything back into balance. And I guess I follow Oprah, as many of you might, I don't know, but she's had so much time to do her gardening lately. And I think that's such a blessing, because she does have such a hectic and busy life, but she's starting, maybe she's always been doing it, but to me it seems like she's finding more joy outside of her work, finding a bit more balance. And I only mention this because it has given me insight also as to what's been going on in my life. And then with this card coming up, it just kind of reminds me yet again that everything has to be in proportion. We have to try and balance things in our lives so we're not getting overloaded in one area more than another. So the next card is a number 1. It's called Bone Collector. And I laugh because I'm wondering how this is supposed to feed into our last card. So with her, she's in a very meditative state. You see her crown chakras open. There's even messages coming in around her head, or there might be mantras that she's using. And for me, it has a lot to do with balancing those items, making time for what it is we want to make time for. She's sitting in a medicine wheel, so she's balancing the spirit, mind, or spirit, mental, physical, and emotional parts of herself. She's gathering all the things she needs to really nourish herself and her spirit, giving the strength to her mental intelligence and her emotional self. And when we do find balance and we allow ourselves to be more than just one thing in our life, whether it's family, work, exercise, hobbies, giving, because a lot of us give. When we find balance in all those things, there's an even flow of give and take to us and from us, to the universe and from the universe, from others and to others. And in doing so, we can really open up that heart chakra and really live from, I don't want to say a more stable place, but it's more stable in the fact that we are loving and kind to anyone we encounter, including ourselves. And loving and kind doesn't mean doing stuff for everyone. Sometimes loving and kind means telling people to do stuff for themselves, because we cannot grow and expand and be if we don't learn how to do that for ourselves. And yes, we are great at doing it for others, but maybe it's time for some of those others to also have the even flow of give and take. For the more they do for themselves, the more they can do for others. And that's really, really an important lesson for all of us. And then the third card today is number 26, and it's Deep Freeze. You'll see a lion there, his paws in the water. A lot of times when we're making these changes in our life, it really is like we're coming out of a deep freeze or a fog. And our perspectives change, taking us back to the first card again. You'll find that you didn't realize you were doing that. It felt so normal, and then all of a sudden you realize that it doesn't have to be normal, or you've changed and you don't behave that way anymore. There's a real awakening. And in this work, in this healing work, that's what we're looking for constantly, is for another level of awakening, something else that opens us up to really understand who we are and how we work and why we do the things we do, why we thrive. So much of our life is conditioning, and when we can realize that we're doing something because somebody taught us to do a certain way, and we let go of that and we allow ourselves to do something the way we think we should do it, because we can feel it internally that that's what we should be doing, there's a sense of freedom that comes with that. And it takes place in your mind, it takes place in your body, and sometimes even your mobility changes. Like if you've had sore elbows, the flexibility of life could change with that one thought, and all of a sudden you have no more elbow issues. And that's kind of what I would talk about in my article this last month, is some of the cellular memory that locks into place, and as it's released from doing either, it can be anything. You could be exercising when you have that aha moment, or washing the dishes, or it could happen when you wake from sleep because you've had a dream that's triggered something. You don't have to go and do the physical body work. You can, and by all means, that's the way I typically do a lot of my aha moments. But even sitting in a meditation can take you somewhere if you are concentrating on one thing. For me, my throat chakra has been very weak for about the last 8 months, and I've been really working on healing it. And what was interesting is as I was doing my meditation this morning, and I wasn't really doing anything different than I normally do, but for whatever reason, today was the day that I was meant to just open up and be different. And I could feel the energy bursting forward in my throat, out the front and out the back, moving up through my head and down through my heart. And I was just so happy, because this is something I've been working towards for a long time. And I don't know how it's going to change things for me. I have been very much paying attention to everything that goes on today, whether I'm speaking more or speaking less, or careful how I speak. My throat feels clearer. But these are the type of awakenings that kind of happen, and they can happen in a slow rate, where you feel something happening, but the shift doesn't really take place till sometime later. So as you go through this month, I want you to pay attention to perspective and try and make things in proportion to what you want to do in your life. Maybe this is the time where it's work's all in and you have no time for anything else because you have a big project coming. And maybe that's the proportion that is important. Maybe it's not balancing things into different compartments for you right now. It's more about one thing, or it's about the family needs your attention right now, or just even one child in the family, or it's your husband, or it's yourself. But allow yourself to stay in that meditated state and find the connection in all areas of your life, because even if you are putting everything into one thing, you can still stay in balance. And then as that one thing floats out, that balance will help you come back into all parts of your life again. I do hope this reading has helped you today. I feel like it was a little bit scattered, but I know you will have got whatever bits and pieces were meant for you, just as you always do each and every month. And I thank you for joining me every month. And if you haven't subscribed, you can subscribe. And when these videos come up, they will send you a message immediately so that you can watch this and have a better idea of what energy is going to be attached to the next month. So I wish you all the best in May, and I will see you in June.